Our phone calls, our emails, our chat rooms now make room for the ultimate hack attack, courtesy our FBI. In what has to be surveillance now on steroids, reports the FBI is rounding up innocent guys in a dragnet to catch the bad guys. That's right, hacking into all sorts of high-tech communications to catch criminals and God knows what acts. And if you're dragged into the manhunt, so be it. Live with it, deal with it. Privacy advocate Katrina Pierson says, by the way, you haven't even heard the half of it. Katrina, this is amazing to me. How does this happen?
You know, Neil, this is absolutely astounding. Every day we are hearing more and more about how much time, energy, and resources from our federal government are spying on people like you and me. I don't know what's more disturbing, the fact that I'm being spied on or the simple fact that our borders are still insecure. After a 9/11 mentality, which is what our government uses to tell us why they have to do these things, we still have a border that is porous. This is astounding, and I believe we are mourning the death of the People's Republic of the United States as we speak.
Well, you know, it comes in a week, as you know, Katrina, where we got indications that the NSA was snooping. It wasn't just on phone calls, it was emails, it was chat rooms, it was where we go and search on the internet. In fact, there was so much of this information, they could only store it so long. There aren't enough terabytes, whatever you call them, to store this stuff. So it'd have to be there for a limited time, and then they'd sift through the important ones. But pretty much they had a lot to sift through. And now we get wind that the FBI separately has this sort of wide net it casts on presumably bad guys, but you know, also getting caught up a lot of good guys because directly or indirectly they might be on the same link, the same URL or whatever. Where does it stop?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We don't know what information they're keeping and whose information they're purging. They could be creating a dossier on the average person for future use. We're seeing all this play out as we speak. I am in full agreement with the Civil Liberties Union in the simple fact that we need to have this debate. We need to reinvestigate the Patriot Act and the consequence of these things that our government is pushing upon the American public. And I believe 2014 is the time these issues can come up in a midterm election and really shape the debate of what our country is going to look like in the future for us and our children behind us. Neil, these kids might be receiving these emails or text messages and clicking on the link simply because they don't know what it is. They could be building cases on our children to use against us or them in the future. We just don't know. We don't know what guidelines they're using, if any. We don't know who's being purged. We need to know as Americans what is being discussed and talked about among individuals simply because we're probably all going to receive a letter from the military-industrial complex assigning us a caseworker in the future. We just need to get a grip on things.
What do you make of the battle going on within the Republican Party over someone like Chris Christie who says, well, you know, if it's about protecting us and preventing another 9/11, more or less endorsing these type of programs. And then someone like Rand Paul who says, yeah, but not at the expense of surrendering all our liberties. Where do you stand on this?
Absolutely. Rand Paul is 100% right on this topic. How can we call ourselves a free people if we're all prisoners to the state? My Congressman, Pete Sessions, is one of those Republicans who loves the NSA stuff. He calls himself the drone guy. He is one of the authors of the drones. He's not opposed to having armored vehicles in all cities. So these are the types of things that we need to identify. We have congressmen who have been in Congress for decades who simply don't know what they're there to do anymore. And it's time that we remind them of what they're supposed to be doing and for whom they're working for. And we can do that in a very clear way in 2014.
Katrina, thank you very much. Good words of warning, by the way. Katrina Pierson in Dallas, Texas.